Prefer Growth transaction, we've got 2 investors getting 15% interest. Like today's the first. I could show you that we've sent out distribution
great.
estimated. So like I can get you every single month for
terrific.
yeah.
Great. I mean, thanks for sending me those. I'll definitely take a look at it, and that I can prioritize it. I just need to figure out like one of the challenges I need to understand is like kind of timeline standpoint for capital allocation. That's why those others that have this longer hold, like I need to I can't tie up too much for too long, but I don't know. I started working on a spreadsheet, but I need to put it like a timeline to it and try to. I mean, it's not going to be perfect, but if I could maximize the cash flow for available cash and then utilize other funding for other potential investments, it's like basically how can I maximize the return on everything at all times? Okay, that would be 100%, right? If I can't get to 100%, it's hard to achieve, but if I can get that from between 80 and 90%, then likely with kind of that total available, should be able to generate a decent amount of cash flow. And then if I can get into another project that could generate some fees and some additional promote in the next, let's say 12 months, then I think that would be something that could work. So it gives me a little bit of time to try to figure out what to do, or maybe something else comes up in that period. We'll see.
So Wapato, I should be able to return capital because there's no occupancy, because we're not incurring very much debt in this transaction because of the cell tower sale immediately.
Right.
I could probably return capital in 9 months.
That sounds great. I mean, I would want to potentially recycle it then also, so
Yeah.
or a portion of it. So let me look at the the timeline. I also need to see what because I want to reserve some capital for a GP investment into another project. So I have that, and then there's also I need to do some strategic moves to try to defer capital gains because there is some capital. So that's kind of fascinating. Once you actually get to the point where you have some money, you have to spend a lot of time thinking about what to do with it. Like, what the fuck? Like, I'm like spending all this time. Like, all right, how does this work? What should I do with it? What's the because if you don't and you just like give it to someone else, they're not working in your interest, right? It doesn't like, okay, yeah, you could just stick it in the, I guess if you have a job and you love it and you're going to continue doing it, you could maybe, and you have 500,000, you could invest with Fisher. They make a pretty good return. But outside of that, if you really are trying to be more active, you really need to think through this as carefully as possible to come up with viable strategies that can really take the smallest amount of money and generate the most gain from it. I mean, that's partly why I'm looking at this whole life. I never really, like, some people started calling me like, oh, based on my profile, you probably had people reach out to you as well. And like the whole infinite banking thing, like I thought it was kind of a joke. Like I was really on the other side of it.